Welcome back. Reading the second book here, or actually the third book, sorry. The Silver Spear of Gorimon, which is the story that Max has told us about. So let's get started. In the glory days of Bakshiva, before the draft, when Gorimon was the greatest city in the known world, the Parech of Bakshiva decided to forge the most powerful weapon in the world to challenge the mighty white dragon. The Parech had grown greedy and bored, his treasure hold filled with the riches of the world, and he desired nothing except the one thing he could never have, the unborn daughter of the white dragon, the fairest, purest, most beautiful creature in the universe. He had asked the white dragon for her daughter's hand in marriage, but she had refused, scolding him for his insolence and warning him to keep his distance from immortals. And so the Parech sought the advice of a mighty sorcerer, the dark and cruel Eos, to learn how to kill one of the dragkin. The sorcerer told the Parech of the white silver of Mount Tyranny, the strongest substance in Arcadia, and how it could be forged by magic to kill even one of the kin. The Parech ordered his army to go north, across the ocean, and to bring back enough white silver to shape a weapon. When his men returned with the rare metal, the Parech ordered the finest blacksmith in Bakshiva to his castle, where Eos the sorcerer cast a spell to create an unholy forge. 10 days and 10 nights it took before the exhausted blacksmith could present a tall spear to his emperor. But before the spear could be used to kill one of the kin, it had to be bathed in blood. Beheading the poor blacksmith and the soldiers who had retrieved the white silver from Mount Tyranny, the Parech's private bath was filled with their blood. As he dropped the silver spear into the red bath, watched over by Eos, a terrible scream erupted, and steam rose up in a red, foul-smelling cloud. When the steam lifted, the blood was all gone, and the spear was glowing in a deep red color. With the terrible weapon now ready to be wielded, the Parech issued a challenge to the white dragon, to either surrender her daughter to him for marriage, or to suffer a painful death at his hand. Enraged, the white dragon refused him yet again, and flew to meet the Parech, his sorcerer, and his 1,000-strong army on the green fields outside Gorimon. Of the magical silver spear she knew nothing, and the Parech kept it wrapped in cloth by his side. "Bring your forces around, Parech," warned the white dragon. "If you do not, I will lay waste to them all." "I wish my man no harm," lied the Parech, "for this is between the two of us." He then rode forward, alone, and dismounted his horse, but stayed within reach of the spear. The white dragon landed before him, and she said, "You are brave, to face me like this when you know you cannot harm me." Then the Parech raised a hand as if to greet her, but it was instead a sign to his sorcerer, the terrible Eos, who cast a mighty spell to hold the white dragon, while the Parech drew his silver spear. The white dragon fought bravely, and she was close to escaping the sorcerer's magic, but the Parech was quick, and he thrust the magic spear into her chest. She screamed in pain and anger, and the sorcerer's spell could no longer hold her. Rising on her beautiful wings, blood pouring down the land below, she cursed Bakshiva, her Parech, and all her people for all time. Wherever the white dragon's blood fell, the land turned arid, and grass became sand. The Parech sent his army to follow the white dragon, and to bring back her egg. But the draft grew, and within days, the once proud empire of Bakshiva was turning into a desert. Then followed a fierce storm that tore across the land for 100 days and nights, and when the dust settled, there was nothing left of Bakshiva but 2 coastal cities and a few scattered oases. It is said that in the buried ruins of a lost capital, wrapped in the arms of the Parech who dared test the immortal, rests the silver spear of Gorimon. Well, that was an interesting story. See if
Are
that's...
you done? Let me take that back for you.
if that will be of any use to us in our quest at some point. In any case, it's nice to read these kinds of legends. Gives it more texture to a place, I think. Oh, we're not done yet.
Oh, oh, goodness, it's you again. Oh, you gave me such a fright.
This really isn't realistic that he's so startled by us every single time.
Could I see some more books?
Oh, certainly. What a silly question.
A book on the history of Mercuria would be interesting.
Ah, an extensive subject, to be sure. I will do my best.
Okay, let's skip this again.
I did find something of interest. I'll leave it here for you to read.
Okay. Next one. Travels in the Northlands. By Germain the Discoverer. The first part. In my many years as a travelling poet and bard, I have journeyed far and wide across the fair realm of Arcady, and I have seen sights most people have not dreamed. I have stood on the magnificent and terrible southern capes in the midst of winter, when the storms are at their fiercest, while waves as tall as the towers of Altaban washed over my frozen body. I have witnessed the monstrous beasts that lurk in those days and deadly waters of the South Swallow, brave galleon's hull. Creatures the size of mountains that with a flick of a tail can touch the depths of the sea and the stars themselves. I have crossed the great ocean from north to south and from east to west, and in the course been stranded on desert islands, with no sustenance but what I could gather from the sparse vegetation, for months at a time. I have ridden the giant Elkwan across Changangriel, the wasteland, from Altaban to Monturba, and further south, where the Tarok, the oasis, are few and far between, and I have seen the shifting dunes above the ruins of Gorimon, precious jewel of the Bakshivan Empire, concealed for centuries by the coarse and treacherous sand. And I have journeyed far west, carried on goodwill and destiny by shadow ships, to the strange and unknown cliffs of a world unseen by most, a world of an unfamiliar tongue and customs, a world of great wonder and mysticism. I have seen all this, and more, but the fairest sights still I have seen in the lands of the north, from Ireid to the border mountains, from Tyrant to the Bay of Fire. No sight can ever compare to dawn at Mount Tyranny, looking out to the plains of Nedra, where wild stallions run free in the thousands, and to look on the city of Coruscant, the pearl fire, while the boiling sun sets in the ocean beyond, the slow waves reflecting dark yellow and red as they lap slowly upon the sandy shores, is an experience truly treasured and never forgotten. These lands are blessed by the Creator, shaped by men, yet wild and free and fertile, home to the greatest cities, the most precious sights, and the most cultured and civilized people in Arcady. Of all the fires I have rested my weary legs by, of all the taverns where I have learned the legends of tale spinners and memorized the songs of bards, of all the lands where I have wandered from city to village, it is to the Northlands I return time and time again to learn ever more. Join me now, for I will evoke in you the very emotions I first experienced when visiting the sights and treasures of the northern lands. Join me, and I will surely bring you there, to the exotic midst of this blessed land, and you will pine for its rugged coasts and green woods, and its hardy people, and like me, you will never rest until you can return to yonder shores. I don't think I can finish this in this video, and this is a good place to break it, so I'll continue in the next video.